Welcome into Hoosier Sports Night alongside the genius Patrick Hurley. I'm Ben Heisler. Pat, we got Nittany Lions, Badgers, and Hoosiers. Oh my.
I think you were supposed to say Badgers at the end. We talked about this before. But
oh, did I do that?
Yeah. This is Hoosier Sports Night. Stick around. 1993 was the first year the IU football team faced off against the Penn State Nittany Lions and then 66-year-old head coach Joe Paterno. 14 years later, the 80-year-old coach Joe Paterno is still coaching and still has not lost to the Hoosiers, boasting a 10-0 all-time record versus IU. Nevertheless, homecoming week and the prospect of a 6th victory and potential bowl appearance brought out a lot of excitement to Hoosier Nation, and the 5-2 Hoosiers went up against the 25th-ranked Nittany Lions Saturday afternoon. And here is Coach Bill Lynch looking for that elusive 6th victory. Now, first play of the red zone appearance here, Kellen Lewis rolls out to his left and finds James Hardy. That's their 10th touchdown of the season, and Hardy ties a record for IU. Now, Joe Paterno here, he looks pretty deep in thought. And Anthony Morelli takes the snap in the second quarter and finds Terrell Golden in the end zone. They would miss the point after, though, and that would come to be important later on in the game. Now 14-13 IU, and Morelli finds another receiver, Jordan Norwood, who had a big day for Penn State, and IU trails 20-14 going into the half. Picking it up in the third quarter, and Kay Lou finds Hardy, who walks the tightrope down the sideline, and Coach Lynch, he shows a little bit of emotion here with a couple fist pumps. I'm glad I have that guy on my team, he's saying. Later in the drive, though, Lewis is knocked down and fumbles the ball right into the hands of Penn State's Maurice Evans. Luckily for IU, Brian Payton is faster than a defensive end, even with one shoe. But Lewis and Hardy aren't giving up, and 79 inches come in handy on this touchdown catch to Hardy, and a record breaker as he sets that record with 31 in his career, and it's 24-29, IU trailing by 5. Needing a defensive stop, but Morelli hands off to Rodney Kinlaw, who barrels into the end zone and apparently crosses the plane as the official gives him the touchdown. Down 12, Lewis scrambles down the field 56 yards and knocks into the pylon for 6, giving the Hoosiers a chance within one score. And after some good clock management, IU has the ball with a timeout and 44 seconds to go. But a third Kellen Lewis fumble, which was the story of the day, seals the game for the Nittany Lions as they beat the Hoosiers 36-31 on homecoming day.
The big talk of the day is the number of turnovers the Hoosiers had against Penn State. The Hoosiers raked in 4 turnovers, 3 of those coming from quarterback Kellen Lewis. The Hoosiers were defeated 36-31 against the Nittany Lions.
The difference in the game were the turnovers. You know, you just can't turn the football over, and a lot of you guys heard me talk about that a lot. And, you know, that was the difference in the game. I think you just, in a close game like that, whether it gives up points or it changes field position, that really hurt us.
While turnovers were a difference maker, it didn't help that the Hoosiers were unable to protect quarterback Kellen Lewis. Lewis was sacked 6 times against one of the toughest defenses.
Playing one of the top defenses in the nation, and we made a lot of mistakes. I had 3 turnovers myself, so we got a defense like that. They're gonna capitalize off of it. We give them way too many chances to score, and when our defense was doing a great job of stopping them, we couldn't put points on the board. So we couldn't capitalize when they made mistakes, but they capitalized when we made mistakes.
The Hoosiers are now 5-3 overall and 2-3 in the Big Ten. They look to capitalize on basic fundamentals as they prepare to head up to Wisconsin against the Badgers.
We talk about it all the time. It's point of emphasis, it's fundamentals, and then we'll go back working on it again tomorrow. You know, I mean, Again, I'm not going to sit here in any way point the finger at anybody. It's just a general term that turnovers hurt us in the football game. But that's something we talk about all the time and work on.
From Memorial Stadium, I'm Alexis Hosier for Hoosier Sports Night.
James Hardy continued to move up in the IU record books with another stellar performance on Saturday. Most notably, his fourth quarter touchdown reception was the 31st of his career, as I previously mentioned, the most ever by a Hoosier receiver. Number 82 also is the only receiver in the nation with a touchdown catch in each of the team's games. Kellen Lewis, meanwhile, had another big game through the air, passing for 318 yards and 3 scores. Lewis threw no interceptions but was sacked 6 times and lost 3 fumbles, a continuing plague of the Hoosier offense all season.
For the second straight week, the Hoosiers were cut short in their bid for 6 victories, this time in an improbable 36-31 homecoming heartbreaker to Penn State. And after this unthinkable loss, some Hoosiers are left wondering what it's going to take to finally win game number 6.
It almost seems kind of like a curse now. Trying to get to that 6-1 to guarantee the bowl game, which we know we can win more than that. We know we can play better than that. So I don't feel like trying to get that 6 wins making us play any tighter or any worse. We got to cut down on the mistakes.
It hasn't happened here over 15 years. It's sort of like it's a curse. It's going to be a lot harder than what we expect and what everybody else expect. That's why it hasn't happened so long. But we just got to stay positive and do what we have to do each and every day in order to get the win.
And despite 2 straight defeats and 3 losses now on the year, Indiana head coach Bill Lynch remains optimistic that the team can right the ship.
Biggest thing that we didn't quit, and obviously that's a pretty it's a pretty important thing around here. As long as they keep going and keep working, and we'll get this thing where we want it.
So just 4 games remain now on this 2007 regular season, including a non-conference matchup with Ball State. And as the Hoosiers try to pick up that 6th victory, every fan knows that it certainly won't come easily. Reporting with the Hoosiers at Memorial Stadium, I'm Ronan O'Shea, Hoosier Sports Night.